right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Glad Chester, thank you for tuning into Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We're taking your phone calls tonight, 412-575-2600. We got a special night here going up against the NCAA games. Duquesne is playing tomorrow at 8:40 against Illinois. Not many upsets here today. I guess the big one would be Yale over Auburn. We can talk about the tournament games, but I want to talk a little bit about the Pirates. They got 3 games left at spring training before they head to Miami for the start of the season. We have Jason Mackey, the Pirates beat reporter, as of right now, turned columnist in what, a couple weeks?
Yeah, April 1st. April 1st. I'm finishing out spring, doing the Miami series, coming home, and I guess somewhere on that flight home, I turn into a columnist.
All right, so, you know, I admit, you know me, I have Bucco fever this time of the year. I have high hopes. I think they're going to be better than they were last year. I mean, they should be, right? I actually think they got legit starting pitchers. I mean, major league pitchers, maybe not legit, but at least they don't have to go with the starter and all kind of other guys that they're just throwing in there. But I think that is their weakest spot. And I wanted to start with the starting rotation before we hit the break and take some phone calls. I mean, you like Keller at the top. You're probably not going to see Paul Skenes until at least June. But what do we know about Perez, Gonzalez? Do you expect much of those guys can chase? I think Chase Anderson's pitching tomorrow, right? Is he going to make this rotation? What about Jared Jones?
All right, I got a lot to say, Rich. And by the way, the Bucco fever that you mentioned, you don't want that. That's been a talk of spring training. It's been going all around the clubhouse, and it is very, very bad. I haven't had it yet, so I'm going to knock on some wood. But I think their rotation is the key spot in them making progress. I really do think the offense is going to be better. O'Neal Cruz being back is obviously going to be a huge thing. I've liked the maturation of Jared Triolo, the addition of Michael A. Taylor, etc. What happens with the rotation? Marco Gonzalez through spring training has not been good to the point of being somewhat worrisome. Martin Perez has been good. I don't worry about Mitch Keller. I do worry about the depth there. We went into spring training thinking, okay, maybe Rowanzi Contreras can be something. Maybe Bailey Falter can be something. They haven't done that. I don't think Quinn Priester has earned a job. Chase Anderson can absolutely make this rotation, and he might. Jared Jones should make this rotation. I think tomorrow is going to be kind of interesting with that. We have not been told pitching plans. Chase Anderson, before tonight's rainout, was supposed to start. I would imagine he still pitches in some capacity. They have to get another look at Jared Jones. But if they can figure out the starting pitching, I think that's the key to them really, taking a significant step forward. And for me, that's a win total in the 80s. That's hopefully eclipsing 500 and maybe flirting with a wild card position or wild card berth.
Yeah, and I hate to say it. I mean, 500 is where I'm hoping this team lands this year, which would be an upgrade over last year. I think that's optimistic. I think they have the potential. They definitely have the hitters. I think it's a better hitting team than it was last year. I was surprised about one of the moves today, Leo over Peguero. So I guess that means Jared Triolo is your starting second baseman?
That's it. Yeah, and I think a lot of people share your sentiment, Rich. People were looking for Peguero to make this team, and I don't think the Pirates made the move they did today because they don't like Peguero. They made the move they did today because that person, and it's probably now Alika Williams, is going to sit the bench a lot. There's just not enough reps to get Peguero. Like, you're going to play Hayes, you're going to play Cruz, you've got a platoon at first. The outfield is basically set with Reynolds, Sawinski, Michael A. Taylor. Triolo is going to play second base. So where's Triolo going to play, or where's Peguero going to play? And he's not. And they're still worried about his development. They want him to play. He's only 23, which is kind of surprising because he's been in this thing for quite a while. I don't have an issue, man. I mean, the Pirates make an obscene amount of roster moves. And in my previous life, I was in charge with caring about them. So I know quite well that things can and will change. I would not read too much into it. G1 Bay is not healthy right now, but he's not far off. When he gets back, that's going to be another consideration. So I don't expect Alika Williams to stay with the team and in any sort of prominent role. But what he does do, late inning defensive substitution for O'Neal Cruz, that's kind of what they're going for right now.
So I think they have 41 players. They're going to make a few more moves. Is there going to be a surprise guy that makes this roster to Miami?
I think Anderson could be one. I think he would qualify as a surprise for a lot of people.
But he's a major league guy, right, Jason? I mean, he's a major league guy.
Yeah, he's a major league guy, but he's been bad. Like, he has the highest ERA of any starting pitcher since COVID, which is obviously not a great thing to say about somebody, but he's been really good this spring. He's pitching differently. if you're going to take your best 2 starting pitchers to fill out the rotation, it should be Chase Anderson and Jared Jones. Really no question. And Luis Ortiz is close, but he has options. Another surprise, Brent Honeywell Jr. Has been excellent. They lost Dari Moreta, who's kind of specializing in having strikeout stuff, missing bats. If there's guys on base, he can get out of a jam. Honeywell Jr. has been able to do that quite well. He had some time for the Padres last year as a former big-time prospect, but he's kind of working his way back from some arm injuries. It's not a big surprise, but it's somebody people maybe don't know.
All right, Jay, so we got to take a break here, but when we come back, I want to ask you more about Paul Skenes and what your projection is for him for this season. But we have to take a break. We're taking your phone calls tonight, 412-575-2600. Some Bucco talk next. All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call with Jason Mackey of the Post-Gazette here tonight talking about the Pirates. He's still in Florida. He's going to make his way to, Miami before coming home, right? And then opening day is here on the 5th.
Miami on Tuesday and then come home.
All right, so you've been down there, and before we get to the phone lines, we got some calls about the Pirates here. Before we get to the phone lines, I want to get your thoughts on Paul Skenes and when you think he'll be here. I mean, I'm hopeful that he'll be here in June, but who knows when that's going to happen. And is he going to start in Indy, or are you going to see him start in Altoona?
We don't know officially, Richie. I have a tough time seeing him go to Altoona, frankly. I mean, if they would do that, it would be merely to get Altoona a gate and because Indy starts on the road. I don't know where Altoona starts off the top of my head, but he has nothing to gain from pitching in Double-A. Absolutely nothing. I'm not sure he has anything to gain from pitching in Triple-A, to be quite honest with you. And that mid-June thing, I mean, I really hope not. You know, as long as Paul pitches the way he's capable, what I've seen him do throughout spring, this is not a guy who's going to need a lot of time in the minor leagues. And it's not my interpretation of their plans or what they view Skenes is capable of doing to even screw around with the Super 2 stuff. Man, I understand.
But why, Jason? I mean, you get him for an extra year, right? I mean, if you know you're not going to be competitive and be a playoff team this year, I hate to say it, but I wait, right? Because I'd want more years for it with him.
Let me explain, because there's 2 different deadlines they need to be cognizant of. If you keep him down for 15 days, that preserves an extra year of club control. He doesn't reach a full year of service. It doesn't manipulate any money. The Pirates don't save any money. It just preserves that extra year, which will happen by them saying he needs to get on this pro routine. If you wait until mid-June, that's going to kick into Super 2. It affects when he goes into arbitration, all that stuff. That's where, you don't get him for any longer. It's just you're going to be paying him more money. He gets 4 times through arbitration as opposed to 3. That's what I don't think they're going to do. Now, are they going to pass through that first threshold where you preserve the year of control where you're talking about? Yes, they're going to do that. That only takes you to midway through April. I think just because of their own sort of hesitancy and how important Paul is and not wanting to take chances, it's going to be May. I just don't think it can be June.
Is there a pitch count with him, you think?
Yeah, I think they're going to be conservative. I mean, every high-end pitcher they've handled, they've had a pitch count. So, yeah, you're going to see shortened starts. I hope they don't do this because I don't think it worked out the last time, but they might build in a rest period where they shut him down, build him back up, et cetera. But, yeah, I mean, he's going to be on something of a pitch and inning count for sure. Are
you hearing anything of Quinn Priester making this starting rotation? I mean, you think he's going to come up with the big club?
I don't think he will. His ERA is around 6 this spring, and I mean that's a little bit messy because he's actually pitched really well, and he's had some innings where it's gotten away from him. I don't see it, and he's in a tough position where he can be optioned to AAA, and it doesn't cost them anything, so they can take a look at another guy in the meantime, or they have Josh Fleming's a little bit more of a veteran guy. Chase Anderson, you're going to have to make a decision on. Luis Ortiz, frankly, has pitched better than Priester. So, I mean, those are the considerations at this point for Quinn. And I don't think that's bad for Quinn. I still think he's working on some stuff. We've seen his velocity 92, 93 at times, 94, 95, 96 at other times. He's been working on a slider cutter that's really helped him out. So I think he'll get there. He's made some strides, but I'm not sure he's ready yet.
How about Contreras? Then we'll get to the phone lines. No,
Contreras, I mean, he's in the bullpen. And frankly, has not pitched well at all this spring. He's not a consideration for the rotation.
All right, let's go back out to the phone lines. We got Tom out in Crafton. How you doing, Tom?
Hey, Richie, beat 'em Bucks.
Yeah, let's go Bucks, right?
Hey, absolutely. Hey, Jason, first off, I enjoy your wall-to-wall coverage on the Pirates. I think it's very good. And before I get to Henry Davis, I was rooting for both of the Jareds to make the team. Jared Triola, when he came up last year, he was very impressive in terms of his fielding ability. Terrific job. Plus, I don't think his bat was actually, what did he hit, about 280, 285, if I'm not mistaken, I think, when he was up here.
Yep.
It was pretty good.
You're right in that range.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. And then I was reading your comments about Jared Jones, and he throws some heat, and you said he's improved on his changeup. You said he has a pretty nasty changeup, I think something like that, and a couple other things. But those two, I'm glad they made the team. And as far as Henry Davis goes, this is where he belongs. I think, didn't he play, wasn't he a catcher in college throughout, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
So I think they're finding out now that's where he belongs, and I'm hoping he's going to keep the job there.
Hey, Jason, is Henry Davis going to, is he going to be their opening day starter behind the plate, or is it going to be Grandal?
Yeah, he will. And thank you, Tom, for the kind words there. I appreciate it. Yeah, Henry Davis is going to be behind the plate for opening day. Grandal can't even run at this point. I fully expect him to open the season on the injured list. I don't know what's going to happen with him. Frankly, I'm worried that we're getting another Lonnie Chisenhall or Harleen Garcia from last year. You know, a guy that's just physically not able to perform. But I'll leave that for another discussion. I agree with Tom. Henry Davis has been absolutely fantastic. He has proven to them why he deserves to be behind the plate, and I think he will be. The defense has been vastly improved. The bat has been excellent. Also agree with Tom's points on the two Jareds. Triolo's been fantastic. We could sit here and debate, does it make more sense to play him at second all the time, or should they bounce him around? I'm kind of in the latter camp. I'd like to see him bounce around other positions, but my opinion doesn't really matter. They seem to like him more as an everyday second baseman, which is fine, but he should be with the Major League club, and he will be. Jared Jones is the last question mark. We know about the first two, and I know what should happen with Jones. I know he's been probably their best pitcher this spring, frankly. And Tom was right. Like, he's throwing 98, 99. He's maxed out at 101. He throws 2 breaking balls. He's done a lot of work on his changeup. Just a nasty demeanor. I really like the way this kid handles himself on the mound. It's mature. Pitches like a bit of a jerk, honestly. And I told him that, and we had a nice laugh about it. But he should be in their rotation. It's not official. They haven't put him on there yet. They don't usually make those announcements. Maybe they will after his next start. But he's pitched really well. Yeah,
he's going to pitch up here the next couple games, isn't he?
Yeah, he was supposed to go tonight in Sarasota against the Orioles, and they got rained out. So I don't know what they're going to do with their plans, like whether they pitch him on Saturday, Sunday. I mean, he'll pitch again for sure.
All right, let's go back out to the phone lines. We got John out in Cranberry. How you doing, John?
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, no problem.
I want to echo the sentiments. Jason, I just love your work. I read it all the time at the Post-Gazette, and just super knowledgeable and, just great information. But Rich stole my thunder about Henry Davis, the previous call. I was going to ask him about that, but I'm going to switch it up now and talk about Mitch Keller. And the reason I'm bringing this up, I love Mitch. I'm so happy he got the extension. He's been through all the wars, but he has had a little – his velocity this spring seems to be a little bit lower than it has been, and he's gotten – hit a little bit more than I expected that he would have in spring. So I wanted to get Jason's take on Mitch and his spring performance for this season. Thanks.
All right, Jason, take it away then.
Yeah, I'm not worried, but it's on my radar. And thank you again for the kind words. His last, or 2 starts ago, in Sarasota, where it was really down, like 92, maybe even a little bit below that. That was concerning for me. Now, I have covered a few games at Ed Smith Stadium this year, I think like about 700, it feels like, and their radar gun readings are a little bit down on everybody. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's just the stadium. I also think there's some merit to this is spring training, fake baseball, exhibition season, whatever you want to call it. So when the real thing starts, I do think it'll pick back up with Mitch. And frankly, his last start when he came back out to Lecom was just fine, velocity-wise. So again, it's something I'm watching just because it did exist. I wouldn't say I'm as concerned about it as I was before. And just to tie a bow on the Henry Davis thing, I mean, he caught Mitch in Mitch's last live. They did a backfield game. That, to me, tells me everything I need to know about how they feel about Henry Davis, his catching, Mitch, that relationship. And, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Mitch having a full season this year and being a guy. Like, he has earned that right of being an ace.
Yeah, back to Davis, and more importantly, you need the guy's bat in the lineup. I mean, even if he's a mediocre catcher, You need his bat in the lineup, and I think he's a better catcher than he is a right fielder.
Well, Richie, I mean, the catching, it's been better than mediocre. Like, it's been really good. He's not going to win a Gold Glove, but it's not the kind of thing where you're like, okay, well, we can live with it. You know, and just to provide a comparable, like O'Neal Cruz's defense this spring has not been good. I don't care if O'Neal Cruz, you know, hits 40-40 or, you know, goes 40-40. His defense can stink out loud. But Henry has been far beyond that. He's been exactly what you would want in a number one catcher. I have no questions about that, and I agree with you. They need all the offense they can get. He's a 1-1 pick. Again, they did not anoint him the opening day starter, but if they go any other direction, I would not understand it at all.
Yeah, that would be crazy. All right, Jason, we got to take a break. We're going to take some more phone calls when we come back, and I want to get your prediction for the season. All that and more next. Stay right there.